Right, let's jump straight into this explainer, because if you're hanging out in the B4X community, you already know the drill. We love the insane speed and power of building native apps, right? But the absolute second you need to spin up a web app or a REST API, bam, you hit a wall. Suddenly, you're juggling client-side rendering, totally disjointed front-end and back-end architectures, just an absolute nightmare of dependency chans. Well, what if I told you that headache is officially over? Today, we're unpacking Pakai Server version 6.99. And let me tell you, this is an absolute game changer for B4X developers. Seriously, ask yourself, how many times have you just groaned, totally exhausted by writing custom JavaScript just to get a basic bare-bones CRUD application off the ground? It's draining. But imagine this. Imagine building a gorgeous, responsive web UI and your REST APIs without writing a single solitary line of custom JavaScript. Literally zero. Imagine staying 100% inside the B4X language that you already know and love, but still pushing out lightning-fast, modern web apps. Sounds like a pipe dream, right? Well, that's exactly the reality we're diving into today.
So what is this magic trick? Meet Pakai Server v6.99. Created by Eric Poon, this is a full-stack B4J project template, and its absolute superpower is that it generates all your HTML server-side, purely using B4X code. By doing it this way, it totally eliminates the need for client-side JS when you're knocking out standard CRUD operations. Create, read, update, and delete. If you want to massively boost your productivity and just, stick to your native language, this toolkit is absolutely essential. You gotta have it in your workflow.
Now, to really appreciate version 6.99, we kind of have to look back. Older versions, like V4 and V5, they were great for basic REST API, sure, but they still left you tangled up in this messy web of custom JavaScript and jQuery AJAX parsing. Version 6.99, it takes those codes and just cuts them completely. It is a massive, massive leap forward for the developer experience. Now, HTML is generated strictly using V40X. You get OpenAPI 3.0 documentation right out of the box, and the whole thing runs on a strict model view controller architecture. It's grown up. It's a highly refined template now.
And here is where it gets really versatile. When you grab Pakai Server, you are not shoved into a one-size-fits-all box. No way. It actually hands you 3 distinct deployment variants. Got a big project? Boom, you've got the full 15-module stack with both the web UI and REST API. Just need a backend? Grab the lean 9-module API-only template. Or hey, maybe you're just building a slick front end without the API endpoints. There's an 11-module web-only template ready to go. It scales perfectly to whatever scope you're tackling. Okay, so I hear you asking, how on earth does it pull off this totally seamless web experience without any custom JavaScript? Well, let's peek at the front-end tech stack. HTMX is the heavy lifter here. Specifically, HTMX 2.0.8 lets the server shoot HTML fragments directly back to the UI. That means you get highly dynamic interactions instantly. Mix that with Bootstrap 5.3.8 for a gorgeous, responsive UI. We're talking native-feeling modals and toast notifications, and Alpine.js running the interactive API console. You end up with this deeply modern tech stack that, honestly, feels like straight-up magic if you're a backend developer.
But the real secret sauce, the thing that makes this sing for you, is the mini HTML B4X library. This is the engine letting you generate all that HTML on the server. Think of it like a domain-specific language, a DSL-like builder living right inside your B4J IDE. You know that exhausting context switching, bouncing between an HTML file, then back to your backend logic, then back again? Go on. You construct your entire web interface right inside B4X. It speeds up development like crazy and totally kills that context switching fatigue.
Let's talk backend muscle. Pakai leverages the mini-ORM-utils library to give you this incredibly smooth compile-time database switching. Check this out. By just tweaking a compile symbol in your IDE, you can instantly flip between a default SQLite database, which runs in WAL mode, by the way, so the concurrent read performance is fantastic. Or you can swap over to connection-pooled MariaDB or MySQL for the heavy-duty enterprise stuff. Oh, and it handles creating the database schema automatically. It's literally that easy.
And speaking of the big leagues, Pakai isn't just about rendering pretty web pages. No, it generates some fiercely robust REST APIs. We're talking auto-generated API documentation slapped right onto a built-in help page. It dynamically spins up an OpenAPI 3.0 JSON spec, full Swagger UI integration. Yep, that's in there too. It'll even generate B4X code snippets so other devs can consume your API with zero friction. Toss in support for JSON and XML payloads, plus built-in input validation, and yeah, this framework is ready for serious production-level action right out of the gate.
Now, I know what you might be thinking.
This sounds complex. If you're worried about a steep learning curve, honestly, don't be. Let's totally demystify the setup right now. It is 5 ridiculously simple steps. 1. Install the B4J IDE. 2. Click the Get Libraries macro to auto-download dependencies. 3. Open the project file. 4. Pick your database config. 5. Press F5. That is literally it. You open localhost 8080 in your browser, and boom, you have a fully functioning, full-stack app staring back at you. The barrier to entry here is effectively 0.
Actually, to prove just how flawless this is on the very first run, Pakai has the slick auto-seed functionality. When you smash that F5 key for the first time, it automatically builds the SQLite database, creates your tables, and injects test data so you aren't staring at a blank screen. And I love this. As a really fun little Easter egg from Eric, the seed data includes a hardware category with a normally priced hammer and a toys category featuring a rather aspirational $1,000 Optimus Prime figure. It's a hilarious little detail, but it proves the framework is completely self-contained and ready to play with instantly.
You can really see the vision here. The creator, Eric, had this laser-focused mandate for the release. On the B4X forums, he straight up said the goal was better UI, UX, and DX compared to the older versions. The rules were simple. HTML generated entirely using B4X. No JavaScript modules, no messy, headache-inducing jQuery AJAX parsing. It's just a massive testament to his dedication. He really wanted to refine and simplify the day-to-day lives of developers in this community. And to make that vision sustainable, Emmerich introduced some very strict architectural discipline starting back around version 6.80. He enforced the separation of concerns. By using dedicated models and views, the framework now strictly follows MVC, Model View Controller, architecture. Why does that matter to you? Because it means when your fun little weekend prototype blows up into a massive, complex enterprise application, your codebase won't turn into spaghetti. It stays clean, modular, scalable, and super easy to maintain.
Also, if there's a voice in your head asking, is this just some abandoned side project I shouldn't rely on? The update history absolutely crushes that worry. Just look at the momentum. From the initial v6 drop in November 2025, they've pushed rapid, meaningful iterations. New API handlers in February, the distinct web and API variants added in April, straight through to this incredibly polished v6.99 final release in May 2026. The community activity is off the charts. This is a highly supported, living ecosystem that you can bet your next big project on for sure.
So, what does this all mean for us? It means it's time to stop fighting with JavaScript and start building the smart way. Our B4X community thrives when we grab hold of incredible tools like this and run with them. Do yourself a favor. Head over to the B4X forum, grab the v6.99 template, and just press F5 today. I mean, if your native language can now spin up a flawlessly modern, full-stack web experience in literal seconds, why on earth would you ever go back to writing custom JavaScript again?